It's Shannon. I am popping on here. I'm going to turn up my volume and to do just a trauma-trained, trauma-informed, trauma-survived version of breathwork, just a short practice to teach you and show you how we can make breathwork and mindfulness practices accessible for folks with trauma histories. I've said before in the past that for folks with trauma histories, mindfulness and breathwork can exacerbate trauma and stress. And so can put someone into a trauma response if it's not trauma informed and trauma trained. The best breathwork and mindfulness and meditation practice is, and the most trauma trained and trauma informed, is to practice with someone that has training in it. And so if you're working with me, I'm happy to breathe with you and to adapt practices, mindfulness and meditation with you. But this is just a general teaching, so it may work for you, it may not. I'm just going to give some tips here, and we're just going to breathe for a couple of minutes. So no matter what nervous system state that you're in, fight, flight, freeze, fawn, breathing for 3 minutes puts our body into the parasympathetic. So our ventral vagal complex is online, our vagus nerve system is online after 3 minutes, and then this is a good place to do a somatic practice. It's a good place to start your meditation practice. It's a good place to have a conversation, have a meeting with someone. It's a good place to start doing parts work. Okay, so I'm just going to grab my phone here, and I have my clock app that is on every cell phone, and I'm going to go to my stopwatch. And so stopwatch is better than the alarm because it's not going to beep at the end of it. And so you can put your stopwatch on, or if you have a stopwatch, if you're watching the clock, you can do that, and then you can time it. So we're going to time it for 3 minutes. Now you can do this sitting, standing, laying down. You can do this with anything in your hand. If you have like a stress ball, a fidget spinner, you can have gum in your mouth, candy, a cough drop. You can make breath work and mindfulness and meditation practice work for you in your trauma history. You do not have to close your eyes either. So you don't have to close your eyes. In fact, that can be very dysregulating for many folks. So you don't have to close your eyes. You can look out at the window. I have a window out here where I can see nature. You can look at a picture of someone you know. You can make the practice work for you. Okay. So I'm just going to start the timer and I'll breathe with you. So we're going to do a breath sequence. I'm going to invite you to do a breath sequence of a 6-second breath in and a 6-second breath out. This is helpful for fight or flight and somewhat for freeze. And so we'll just try it out and see how it works. Now we don't really have to push our breath, so I'm already breathing right now. So we're going to breathe in and breathe out. One of the ways that we can figure out, and we're going to keep breathing in and out, the timer's still going. One of the ways that we can get a deep belly breath, and if putting one hand on your chest and one hand on your belly, we're breathing in and we're breathing out. I'm still talking. And we're going to go for that third trimester breath. So we're breathing in with big belly breaths. You know, if you feel it, put your belly poke out, that's a good breath. Now, if that is too dysregulating to put your hands on those parts of your body, I invite you to put your hands on your ribs and breathe in and out that way. So we're going to breathe in and we're going to breathe out. We're going to breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to keep breathing. We're almost there. One more minute. One more minute to parasympathetic regulation. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out. feeling that? Ooh, we're getting into our authentic self. We're getting to self energy. Yes, yes. Keep going. Third trimester breaths, big belly breaths. Now we don't have to push it too hard. If you're getting lightheaded, back off a bit. Okay? We don't want to push past. We don't heal by pushing past our window of tolerance. Listen inside. Listen. We're going to keep breathing. We're almost there. 10 more seconds. One more round. You got it. There. So we made it to 3 minutes. How you feeling? You notice the shift? How's that like for you? So there's many different breath patterns. I love teaching breath patterns to clients, and I love making it. I'm making mindfulness, meditation, and breath work accessible for folks with trauma histories, with disabilities, with chronic illness. Because these practices can be adapted for anyone. Again, the best and most trauma informed is to work with someone who is trauma trained. I am trained in these tactics and methods, and I'm a ninja at figuring out what, getting curious about what works best for you. And notice I sat down for this practice. This practice again can be done standing up, sitting down, and then we can layer on levels of, as we practice this, we can pay attention to our spine, we can change our posture, we can start paying attention to some of the more nuanced aspects of breath work and things like that. This is just an introductory video, so we're not going to make it too complicated. Start with where you are. If it's helpful, and if it's hard for you to do these practices alone, I'm going to keep this video up so you can breathe with me. You can look outside at a window. You can imagine your favorite place in nature. You can sit there with a pet or an animal, or hold a crystal or a rock, or anything that helps you feel a little bit more regulated, a little bit more like yourself. Okay, and if you can just even start with, if one conscious breath is where you're at, start there, and then you can build up from there. You start with one breath, and pretty soon it's two, and then in a short time you are at 3 minutes, and maybe even beyond. Now again, if you start getting dizzy, that is a big sign that you're pushing past your window of tolerance. A lot of folks with trauma histories, complex trauma, that's developed trauma over time, many folks are in a functional freeze, and so we have to kind of sometimes work with somatic strategies too. So if you notice that you're dizzy, we can work with somatic strategies to help support that functional freeze. And usually if someone's dizzy, that's a big sign that someone's body is actually in a freeze. And many people have no idea that they have been living in freeze their entire life. This is just their natural state, because they've had a chronic stress history and complex trauma or trauma history. And so we can do other things to settle into breathing practice first somatically and build from there. So there's a lot of different ways that we can do it, and make breathing more accessible for folks. And so hopefully this video is just an introduction into a couple of those ways. And hopefully this has helped you kind of understand a little bit more about making breath work and mindfulness and meditation practices more accessible for yourself or for those that you're working with. Thank you so much for watching. Share this video. As you can tell, I'm like, if I was doing an infomercial, that's definitely not my skill set. Like the video, share it, and practice. Let me know how it's going for you.